So we're going to shuffle and see what Divine Master we are connecting with right now. I did ground before I came on, but I'm feeling called to ground again. And I'm feeling called to pick up Casper, one of my dragons. This is Zebra Jasper with Pyrite. Just kind of calm the energy. I did a Sagittarius reading before I came on, and Sagittarius, the energies before with the other reads, it just felt really, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it just felt very chaotic or disjointed all over the place. So I think that's why I needed to ground again. All right. So God, angels, guides, and ancestors, also multi-dimensional beings who are of the light. Who am I connecting with today? I've connected a lot with star seeds even before these channeled messages. I can't remember when last year. It may have been October or so. When there was a Palladians message that came through that also leaned into Lyrans. And so I had my big 4. Now I'm trying to remember to say my big 5 as far as guidance. But that's me. You tell me what you do for you. It can be different for everyone. That's why I don't try to, in the readings, stick to any one thing when I'm saying connect with this or that. So this has been, I don't know if this is the energy of the read, we'll see, but this has been a very like reflective, contemplative type sense so far. And I'm just feeling called to take a moment to pause and clear my mind a little bit more to prepare for pulling the card. All right. What energy, who is open to me channeling, or what energy, what channel message do we need at this time? Being called to do this more slowly, which is not typically how I do it. And if nothing comes out, then we do it another day. All right. I guess we have a Divine Master that has been selected. Put these back in here. And we will see. Oh, I may not pronounce this one correctly. But this makes sense why I was feeling called to ground and also to clear my thoughts. Again, I'm probably not going to pronounce this correctly. 444 on the clock. Djwal Khul. You can let me know if I didn't pronounce that correctly. I will look it up after the channeling so that I can know for my information. So this is a divine mission, enlightened action, make choices from the heart. So we've got this orange right here, which is pulling me into like, not only the monks that you see, is it Krishna? When I lived in London, there were some walking down the street, and that's where the orange was coming to me, that sacral chakra, playful energy, very loving, peaceful, joyful. And they had these flowers, and one of them handed me a flower. And the smile and the energy coming off of him was just, I feel like I could tear up right now. It was just joyful and just so radiant, which is the energy that's coming off of this master as well. And it looks like a tree outline in the background in this kind of blue color. I just heard tree of life. And then we've got that green of the heart chakra. I see the material crossing over the heart. And I'm not saying this has to be connected, but what I'm feeling and hearing is joy through love, joy through compassion, like that it's heart-centered, like you lead it through the heart. And I often say that I see there are more chakras than just the 7, but that I see the heart as kind of the center of the chakras. I heard center of the journey, which is why it paused me for a second. This is also reminding me of the peace monks that have been going across the states in this time where peace, community, love, and joy, and I'm feeling tearful again, are things that are very needed. Whew. But it's not like a sadness. This is like tearful emotion coming from just this overwhelming sense of love, respect, compassion, and hope. Those are the things that are coming through to me. So I try to set these up now where you can see them as I channel. So we'll see if that works. We may need to use the honey. I have some honey calcite. So the stones that had come to me before, we have Casper. He's, as I said, zebra jasper with pyrite. Pyrite often being associated with things like joy, abundance, confidence, things like that. A rose quartz, but it's aura. So it has the metallic coating on it that's bonded to it. That's said to amplify the energy, and rose quartz being a heart chakra stone, so amplifying the energy of love. And then the honey calcite, I can't remember exact properties of it, but it is definitely solar plexus. And I don't know if you can see in the lighting that I have, and it's very gray and rainy outside today, but there are multiple rainbows that just radiate from this honey calcite. So we'll put the honey calcite in front of Casper, and they will hopefully work. We'll just do the three of them together, hopefully work to hold the card up. Maybe not. I know what I need to do. We will put the chakra deck behind it. And maybe this is where Spirit is saying it's not important. All right. Nope. I was trying to see if there were any stones that I was being called to hold in my hands. If you watched any of these videos, sometimes I do that, but I'm being told no. And Casper is going kind of in a protective way forward. Biggest message I'm getting right now is just to allow myself to clear my thoughts. All right. I like reading Kyle Gray's message on the inside of the box to start, so that is what I will be doing. Divine Master within, the voice of my inner teacher, I call on you now. And I'm already feeling energy in my hands as if I'm sending Reiki. Awaken and activate. I am willing to remember you, and so it is. I'm seeing a bunch of trees right now, which I know there was a tree on the card. But these trees, they're lush. They have all these beautiful green leaves. It's like a canopy of trees above my head, and there's a path that's underneath it. Like the trees are arched, and I'm being guided to walk along this pathway. The path is a dirt path. And there's green grass on either side. Similar to, I think it was the Buddha message, I'm being called to take note of the things around me. So there are some mushrooms that are growing over in the grass. And they're not like bright or pretty. They're brown and flat, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but this is part of the message that they may be overlooked, or seen as not valuable because they did not catch your, or would not catch your attention in the way that something bright would. But the bright thing may be poison, and the brown mushroom's medicine. I'm feeling heavy as I'm being pulled into grounding and the request for me to step aside more. Do you decide what is valuable by what you are told? Do you decide who is valuable by what you see? Do you trust the information that you obtain from sources within or from those of authority? Is their authority truly guiding you on the path that you feel called to? Or is it leading you to things I'm seeing like mirrors with distorted images, broken mirrors too, where the images are fractured. Things, an upside down world in a mirror. So the mirror is reflecting things opposite, or not side to side opposite, but upside down from what they are. And now I'm seeing violet and being called to connect with third eye and crown. You lose your way when you focus on that which goes against your internal system. The joy is around you, but the mirrors distort the view, the words of others. The things you are told are the key to wisdom, peace, happiness, prosperity. I mean, the words coming into my mind is it's not your fault, but it doesn't feel like that's what he is trying to say. The deception surrounds you. The choices are there, but your vision is skewed, is the word coming into my head. It's like I'm kind of in and out here, but not in a way that it's in and out channel, similar to others. It's that it's giving me words and then having me choose how to present the word, if that makes sense. And I feel like what that is saying that, yeah, because I'm hearing there's no one way, there's options. So it's not just what even this energy is saying to you, but your perception of it, not from what others tell you, but from within. All right, so I'm going to release again and pull back. Illusions have been put in place long before you were born in this lifetime. Beliefs and systems have held distorted views that benefit those outside of yourself, spaces and places where you lose your focus, distractions that take you away from the peace and contentment that could be within, the things that make you feel that you do not have enough. What is enough? Enough is not that bright mushroom. That bright mushroom does not feed you. It does not heal you. It does not help you or teach you. It is poison. However, the other mushroom may be something that sustains you, heals you, fills you up. But it does not look like the enticing option. So I'm seeing someone sitting in this wooded area. It's in the grass, it's off the path. And there's a blanket that they're sitting on, and they don't have anything on the blanket, just them. The blanket's plain. There's a space in the trees where the leaves are less dense. They're sparse and sunlight is coming through. And I see the sunlight coming just down. It's like the person is intentionally sitting in a space where the sunlight is shining on them. It's like a connection. Reconnecting to you. And I can hear sounds of like animals, birds, things moving around in the trees. But those just bring me a sense of naturalness is the word coming to me. I don't even know if that's an actual word, but it's like it's a natural state. I'm hearing what should be versus what is. What should be versus what is. Clearing the distractions. Reconnecting with yourself. Reconnecting with humanity, with the planet, with the things that sustain you, the things that are living and bring life. That is the solution. That's the word I'm hearing. That is the solution. The solution is simple. The solution is within. The message does not have to be that long, because that is the message. That you seek knowledge, information, connection, emotional stimulation, your worth from external sources, when the key, the solution is within, and it is your connection. And no one can tell you fully how to achieve that. That is something that you experience yourself. There are guidelines that can help you. The quiet, pausing and taking a breath, observation, allowing yourself to just be, not focusing on time, work, shoulds, and these distorted distractions. Recognizing that true peace does not require all the things. It requires you. And he's pulling back as he says, that is all. Thank you. Whew. The energy wasn't big and full like with Shiva. And it wasn't incredibly light. It wasn't heavy. It just was. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. It was just there. It was present. Maybe that's the best way to put it. It was present. And that feels like that's what the message was calling for. In fact, I was more present throughout that channeling than many others. I remember more of that channeling, which was similar to, like I said, the Buddha channeled message, where I was called to be present and speak more from my voice than the channeled voice. So again, I may mispronounce the name, Djwal Khul, but thank you so much for the channeling. And we'll go to Kyle Gray's guidebook to hear more. I'm just feeling like there's a buzzing and tingling throughout my body, but there's like a pressure, may not be the word because it's not like pressure like a headache, but it feels like an expansion, just like expanding from my brow, my crown, crown to like around this area, third eye and crown. Okay, so let me get the guidebook. Here it is. And my eyes got a bit teary, so I feel like I need to wipe my eyes. All right, sometimes, oh good. Sometimes Kyle has pronunciations in the guidebook and sometimes not, but there is in this one. So he says it's pronounced Djwal Khul. Djwal Khul. So hopefully I pronounced that correctly this time. Please excuse me to anyone who knew the correct pronunciation, and I may have caused some discomfort. And also my apologies and thank you to the Divine Master Djwal Khul for sharing the energy coming through for this message. So Djwal Khul, also known as the Tibetan, is a Tibetan Buddhist master who is said to have had many incarnations, including, I'm still feeling that like expansion in my third eye. It just feels like if you, it just feels like if you have like, it feels like a plant growing out, but it's like growing out and pushing through the dirt and pushing it through so that it can get to the sun. Like that's how it feels. That feels like a weird explanation, but that's how it feels. Okay, let's get back to this. Is a Tibetan Buddhist master who is said to have had many incarnations, including as one of the original. My words are just mixing up right now because, like I said, it's hard to ignore the that feeling of just like expansion, growth, like reaching out, connecting to everything, connecting, like there's no one focal point. I don't know how to describe it. So let's try this again. So Djwal Khul, also known as the Tibetan, is a Tibetan Buddhist master, or Buddhist, you tell me, who is said to have had many incarnations, including as one of the original devotees of the Buddha. And I said it felt like the Buddha channeled message. And as one of the 3 wise men who honored the birth of Jesus with frankincense, gold, and myrrh. He is one of the Mahatmas presented in the work of Helena Blavatsky, who was one of the first Western channelers to share information on the Ascended Masters. Djwal Khul, his purpose is to guide humanity to a more enlightened and compassionate existence. He is one of the lamas residing in the etheric retreat of Shambhala. Who else was there that was that Shiva? Or is that, I don't remember. It's a city hidden in the Himalayas. I can't remember, but I remember, not that this is important, but it's just kind of like my brain's going, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. A city of light hidden in the Himalayas. Many of these lamas are spiritual guides of light workers on earth. Okay. Your message with this card, you're being guided to know that your current situation is an opportunity to evolve as a spiritual being having a human experience. Think beyond your current needs and try to see the bigger picture. Be compassionate in your choices and actions and open to seeing the other person's point of view. Let go of any selfish desires or needs that may not serve you in the long run, for this will help you take more enlightened steps forward. There is a divine mission in your current circumstances. Your spiritual guides are around you at this time and encouraging you to see how far you have come. See that for yourself and understand how you've evolved. You have all it takes to move on and move up. Let go of any fears of loss and limitation. This is just your ego testing your ability to transcend fear. Let your heart lead the way. And that letting go is bringing me back to the image that I was shown of sitting with the sun coming through, and it was just like one spot where the leaves were, like I said, more sparse, and sitting there and the sunlight's coming in, and like I said, the blanket didn't have anything on it. It was just that connection, that reconnection, building up the energy to be able to grow. Like that you don't have to have all the things, all the spiritual tools, all the information, all the knowledge, that it's reconnecting with yourself, with others, changing perspective of how you see things. All right, that was a different energy, but as I said, very similar to what I felt the Buddha channeled message was, and it makes perfect sense. So thank you, Kyle Gray, for this beautiful deck, and thank you, Djwal Khul, for or the energy of Djwal Khul, for this channeled message. I hope that it's helpful. Definitely feel free to let me know what you think of these. And as I had said when I first started them, I can't say how frequently I will do them, but when I have the space and energy, because I want to make sure, just like with any personal readings and things like that, that I honor the energy and space that is necessary, that the messages come through and that the full energy is able to be present, and that I am able to hold space for them and present them in a way that is helpful to whoever receives it. All right. Thank you so much and take care.